Onward and upward. I don't need your applause. Onward and upward. I don't need your applause. It's the God Opulent LDTV. Early bird gets the worm around this bitch. Nah, let me change that to shit. Whenever I rise, I'm getting the worm. No pause. But you get what I mean. Like I'm getting to it. Whenever I rise, I'm getting to it regardless. Shit. That's what I mean by it. If you're new here, smash the like button, smash the sub button. And if you don't like what I'm saying, smash the unlike button. LDTV don't give a fuck. OG, yo. Man, y'all gotta go listen to OG's Friday show. OG was just I can't say he's rare form because all that's just in him, but he really put on a great show. It was phenomenal. OG Yoda, I appreciate you, man, for real. You one of those guys that's just truly shown that you're OG out here. We know that there's a lot of guys to be an OG, but they're not. So heavy respect to you. I'm up early. Like I said, I'm sticking to my guns. I had to get up today, motherfucker, and I know why it hurt. It hurt because last night I took it upon myself to eat 2 double smash burgers. Last night I ate 2 double smash burgers and then got up like this run was gonna be easy. Horrible decision, even though those burgers tasted good as fuck. But I definitely paid for it on this run. And also, let me tell y'all, the sun is still down here. So during the time during the time that I'm on here today, this morning, this AM, the sun's gonna most likely rise. And so I ran past this one house, and there's this motherfucker. Well, hold on. I'm running. You know how you're running, and you're aware, you're looking forward. You see somebody in front. I see somebody in front of me. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna just make sure I get out of the way. Why I get close to this motherfucker? This motherfucker starts going off to me in Spanish. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh man. What is this about? And I'm like, for one, I don't run with my water gun. You get my drift? I don't run with my water gun because it's weighted. So when you run, you want to be as light as possible. So all you're doing is really carrying your body weight, right? And so I'm like, am I gonna have to knock this motherfucker out? Thankfully, thankfully he didn't come. He stopped. Thankfully he stopped coming like closer to me, and I just kind of I took it upon myself. I took it upon myself to just continue on, man. I don't need to. You know me, like I said, man. Y'all don't know me, man. I love to try to avoid a situation unless I really just have to engage in a situation. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if I ain't got to do nothing, then there's no need for me to engage. So I took it upon myself to just run around the motherfucker and left him there yelling at himself. And as I got further down to where I was running towards, I kind of thought to myself, like, okay, maybe this motherfucker's drunk as hell. Maybe he had a situation with the person in the house that he's at, and I was like, this dude almost got his ass knocked out, but he's thankful I didn't have my water gun because, like I said, it's dark. I don't know what he had. He could have been a free body, especially when he started walking towards me. And thankfully, he stopped. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Cam J Network, I appreciate you sliding through, brother. I appreciate you, man. Hope you're having a blessed Saturday. But yeah, man, that run felt good as hell, y'all. It feels good to like kind of punish your body. Like I said, I ate those two double smash burgers, which was super good, good as fuck. But man, once I got to running, my stomach was like, "You made a bad decision, my nigga." But I must stay doing what I stay, proud of myself, and that's to be active, man. I gotta be active. Of course, I do light weights. I don't do heavy weights or nothing anymore just because I don't want to be swole, man. I don't like that small t-shirt look that a lot of these dudes be walking around swole as hell, just little ass t-shirts. I mean, we all know that being swole don't mean a damn thing. Just because you can lift heavy, that don't mean you can really punch hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's all it means is that you can lift weights, and is lifting weights and being swole is more of just a looks thing. We know this. I know y'all know this in the chat. That's all that means. So if I want to stay light in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Cut up or whatever, where I can, if I have to throw my punches, you know what I'm saying? Or if I have to, pull out my water gun with easy precision, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm down here in Miami. We stand our ground down here. You know what I'm saying? Of course, if it comes to it, I love to beat a motherfucker's ass, but hey, you know what I'm saying? If my family feels threatened, we just gonna get you up out of here. I mean, plain and simple as that. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let me just get into what I came on to talk about. Najee Lopez is a certified dog. Man, and shout out to Manuel. That was a hell of a fight last night on Pro Box TV. Yeah, this a traffic. The street I live on is kind of busy. But yeah, man, that was a hell of a fight. I feel like that's a candidate for fight of the year. I like the body work that Najee invested in early. I do feel like that. I do feel like he was dropped in what was that, the fifth round where they didn't count it. But then after that, he got dropped, and then I guess like the third drop, and it was like they called it like a clash in the foreheads or something like that. Um, again, Manuel Gallego is a motherfucking dog himself. He came to fight, and they weren't scared to exchange, and that's what I love to see. This was an exciting fight. Was a very exciting fight. You know what I'm saying? It's time for Najee Lopez to get a motherfucker title fight. It is time. I believe that he will be a champion. It's actually a champion. He will be a title holder who's actually a champion. That's how I feel about it. And so it's definitely time for him to get his just due. Get his just due as far as the homeboy just due. You know what I'm saying? When y'all see Kissing Me Florida, because that's where the event was at. That's just compute that in your head as that's Orlando area. Kissimmee, Florida is Orlando area. That's like 4 hours from Miami. I would have loved to have been there. I'm sure I would have got credentials for that shit, but you know, being a family man, you gotta, put your family first. But if I was definitely single and shit, I would have definitely been at that bitch. They do be having some events down here too that's closer in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale's about what, 30, 40, 35 minutes away. It's just that when those events were around, I just had a bunch of shit going on. But my hat goes off to both fighters. The card was dope, but I really just tuned in to see Najee. So shout out to the Boricua Najee Lopez showing his dog and showing up and showing out. We know Manuel Gallego. What's that? I'm gonna say his name fucked up. Gallego. Um. Oh, you know what? Hold on, doesn't Khalil Cole, he still has his title, right? He still got a title. They need to line it up. Lopez and Khalil Cole. And it's tough because I love Khalil Cole, but I feel like that last fight, I feel like he lost that shit. I feel like he lost it. I ain't gonna cap. I am biased for Khalil Cole, but I feel like he lost that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Let me look at the chat. Cam J Networks had amazing fight last night. Yeah, it definitely was. Whole Pro Box TV card was fire. Yeah, it was fired in the motherfucker. Official Noonie, salute. Appreciate you. Want to see Lopez mix it up with the two guys at 175 for sure. He one of them guys in that division. Yes, yes, and it's time for him to get some these title fights and to see if he can reign. And then if he wants, possibly move up. You know what I'm saying? So sky's the limit. But he really showed his eye was fucked up, man. Nachi's eye was fucked up. I was like, God damn. But he fought through it. He stayed poised, stayed focused, and that's all we can ask for, man. That's the fight that true. How can I say it, man? That's the type of fight that true boxing heads love. Guys that are not scared to exchange, guys that are gonna put it on the line. Because let's not forget that Manuel himself, he could have won this fight. I mean, he was doing a damn thing in there. This was not no easy fight for Najee. So that could have went either way, but Najee I just feel like his body work and his punch placement was better than definitely better than Manuel's. So I'm thankful that Najee he invested early, and so it ended up you seen Manuel was gassed. What was that, the eighth round when he got stopped? Oh, also the head. I think the headbutt. I ain't gonna cap. I think the headbutt kind of dazed Manuel a bit as well, just to be all the way honest. But at the end all be all, Najee got the dub, and that's what's up. But you already know, man. I'm not really a boxing channel. I love boxing, but I want to move on to Papoose. Decided to shoot a stray. Actually, I'm gonna say he threw a bazooka at 50 Cent. And this is the thing. Papoose can rap his ass off. He is a phenomenal rapper. But none of that means nothing when you can't make a just a dope like I said, his lyrics is dope. And this is one thing. You can be lyrical as you please. We know that New York niggas they love focusing on just being lyrical. But if you can't make a hot song that's gonna really be catchy, none of that don't mean a goddamn thing. Cause let's be honest, a lot of these cats who talk about how much they love lyrics, they're not buying a goddamn thing. And then especially with how music industry is today, they're not downloading shit. They're not listening to shit. So it's like, yeah, they're gonna be, oh yeah, that's dope as hell. He murked them, but they're not gonna truly support Papoose. So Papoose, in my opinion, it's a lose-lose for this nigga. It's a lose-lose. You can't win. Like 50 Cent's already certified. I mean, the man's already certified. He didn't already made history. And something that I want to yap about, Papoose, he posted some on his IG claiming that basically alluding that 50 Cent was one of those guys who was faking his streams and everything like that. But one thing Papoose has to realize is that doesn't pertain to 50 Cent because 50 Cent, his success in his era was when people were still buying CDs. So, I mean, if you want to say that for Drake, then so be it, because we all know that a lot of his streams were fake. We know a lot of these guys' streams was fake. We know the numbers is fake. But 50 Cent, the era he come from, motherfuckers was really buying CDs. Motherfuckers was really out there, and his impact was really what everybody says it was. You know what I'm saying? So, um, Papoose is delusional. I don't know what he expects to receive from this. I mean, yeah, he'll get a lot of motherfuckers in chats talking about how dope the lyrics are in his raps, his disses. But it's not gonna equate to anything. You know what I'm saying? We see a guy who's been rapping since forever and hasn't been successful. He's only successful at putting bars together, but he's not successful in monetizing his flow, them lyrics. So I am a supporter of Papoose. I could be honest though, I haven't bought shit though. But I fuck with him, you know, I respect him as far as the lyricist, and he's super cold with it. But you gotta be able to write a fucking song. That's what it comes down to in the industry. And of course, we are also know that a lot of politics go into that. But um, so, yeah, so okay, the sun's starting to come up a little bit. It's not as dark as it was. You hear the birds chirping. Nature is beautiful out here. If you're new here, smash the like button, smash the sub button, stay connected. Before I get into my last topic, before I get into my last topic, I want to talk about just I did a video, what was it, Thursday night about Clarissa Shields and the coach Derek Santos. And Derek Santos is very much known down here in the South Florida boxing community. Um, I've met him on several occasions, and so just to anybody out there that's doing content, man, you just never know what's gonna hit and what's not gonna hit. We all know we would love for every video we put out to hit, but that's just not the way it works. And just that video that I did, it took off. You know what I'm saying? It took off. It did some. I feel like it's some successful numbers. Even though even if my video at the end of the day, even if my video does one view, I'm happy with it because I'm doing something that I'm still, like I said, I'm still out of my comfort zone. So just for me putting it together, I'm satisfied with that. But of course, I ain't gonna cap it. It's a good feeling to see a video that you do great. And then another thing that feels great is seeing people that you support actually be there. Because a lot of my more successful videos that I've done, for the most part, there's really nobody there that I've supported. You know what I'm saying? And so it was great to see people that I support actually show up and show their face. Like I said, I'm big on showing my face. If you're a person who likes to hide in the background and claim you support somebody, you full of shit. And I believe that you really pussy. I'm just being 100 because if you really support people, you're gonna show up, show your face. Nobody said that you gotta stay forever. Nobody said that shit. But to me, you're a faker, and I stand on that all 10. You know what I'm saying? I definitely stand on that. But so yeah, man, it was great to see. I mean, of course, I didn't expect it, but it was clear cut. Clarissa's lying, and it seems like this is a consistent thing for Clarissa. She's doing a lot of lying on people, and the receipts. I think, and I'm gonna be 100. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I mean, it is kind of funny, but I feel like Clarissa Shields is a undercover LDBC member because she is great at lying and she's great at not. She, she's great at not tackling when people ask her questions. She's great at not answering questions. She's great at not showing any receipts. She's great at manipulating, just like that group. So I feel like she's a certified LDBC member on the low. You know what I'm saying? We know how them boys lie their ass off. But speaking of LDBC, let's get into my last topic, and I'm gonna get up out of here. My wife's about to go to the gym. You know, her and my daughter about to go work out and shit. But yeah, man. So This next topic is LDTV transparency. And so, man, all these cards. But yeah, so this last is LDTV transparency. A lot of y'all know that when it comes to that group, I'm close. Well, I was close with really one person. Well, hold on, let me say two. The first one is my dog, Mr. Finesse. That's really my brother, for real, for real. That's my dog. And the second person is was Kano. Um, See, I had to stop myself because I wanted to call him Kanokio. You know what I'm saying? That's a new name of how I got him when we got into our little situation. But shout out to my dog, Mr. Finesse. Uh First off, when we first had our situation, he asked me, he was like, "Man, if are you willing to have a conversation with him?" And I'm like, "Nah, hell no." I was honestly in my feelings. I didn't want to talk to him at all about the situation. And so he told me, he's like, "Man, call him." And I'm like, "Okay." So I ended up calling him. And so me and Kano, we did have a conversation. And the accountability that I'm taking is that us being as close as we were, I feel like I still owed him a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Just to potentially iron out like misconceptions, or if I perceived something wrong, he perceived something wrong. But I can honestly say that I was just so caught up. I can honestly say that I was so caught up in the situation, far as the cult trying to spin a fake narrative on me. You know what I'm saying? They started a little fake lying campaign on me. Um, Big sis Quee, how you doing? Hope you having a blessed Saturday morning. I truly appreciate you sliding through, per usual. So yeah, but yeah, man, taking accountability as a man, I didn't want to have the conversation, and so I took my bro's advice and called him. We had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, Mr. Finesse told me he was gonna have you call me, but I didn't think he was gonna call." You know what I'm saying? And again, one thing I have to admit and just be clear of is that there's nothing wrong with clearing up miscommunication. There's nothing wrong with having a discussion and possibly figuring out where it went wrong. Cause that was my main aim. Like, where did it go wrong? Because yes, even though I stand on everything I said, to me it was definitely the truth. But there was some miscommunication there. And so what I really came up with was two things. For one, Kano's first language isn't English, it's Spanish. And for two, secondly, he's from a different generation than I am. And thirdly, he yes, he's from a totally different culture than I'm from. So the way I talk and the way I say things, he's not gonna understand. And so I have to take accountability in saying that there's things that I said that he just totally perceived it the wrong way or understood it the wrong way. So it just felt great to and of course, there's things that he stood on. Like, man, I was mad. So yeah, I said that shit. And that shit that I said is like, man, I stood on my shit as well. And, it laughed about some shit. But the point is that at the end of the day, I still had no issue with him, even if we didn't talk. But it did feel good to have the conversation and definitely clear up the miscommunication that we had between each other. If I wasn't in my and this is where accountability comes into it on my part. If I wasn't in my feelings and would have communicated with him, that could have been ironed out way earlier. You know what I'm saying? We could have really had a conversation way earlier, and then the video would have never happened. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I would have had to drop a video just to, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I would have had to say something because it's just in me. I have to stand up as a man. But will things be the same? No, it's not gonna be the same. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's gonna go back to the way it was. It's just, but the point is, it's just great to have that conversation and iron it out. And again, usually, like before, how I was feeling, like if I seen him at an event, I'm just gonna, he's invisible to me. But now I can honestly say, if I see him somewhere, I definitely communicate with him. There's there's still a level of love there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in one of my videos before, to me, he was looked at as like a family member that you kind of hate, and it's like, okay, that's fam, but I ain't fucking with him no more. But like I said, we got the understanding now, and for me, I appreciate that, man. But the biggest part of me just communicating this, like I said, we had the conversation like a week and a half ago, something like that ago, and but the point of me even speaking on the situation is just to be vulnerable and show that, hey, I make bad decisions too. I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect at all. So it is what it is. Chat. Uh you know it. I'm not doing anything when I didn't do anything wrong. Some things that were said, there's no coming back from, in my opinion. I'm glad y'all worked it out. Again, we had the conversation, big sis, and we left it there. Like I said, it's not like things just go back to what it was, but as a man, I respect what he stood on, and I respect him taking accountability for what he took accountability to. Is in me to really respect it, and I get it. There's things that people say that back for him, but it's like one of those things like, Mr. Gumbo. So my thing is like we had the conversation, it's ironed out, it's cool. I mean, like I said, it was always kind of cool with me in the situation of like I was just gonna avoid the motherfucker if I see. 'Cause I know for sure I'm gonna see him at an event because I go to a lot of events down here. You know what I'm saying? He comes down from Jacksonville. I feel like to Orlando, so there's definitely gonna come a time where we see each other. It's inevitable, and so I'm cool with just not talking to somebody. But as I said, he was one of the persons who I had like a real like relationship with when it comes to that group. Him and my dog, my brother, Mr. Finesse. Um, Big Sis quickly said, I have no issues with anybody, but if they have an issue, that's on an individual. I appreciate it. Hey, oh, I didn't see my dog. Where my dog Gumbo? Big Sis said, Gumbo, where Gumbo at? What up, boy? Oh, what up, Gumbo? How you doing? How you doing, Gumbo? But yeah, I feel like I did that. For me, that was from my manhood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not above approach. And if I would have had that conversation earlier, hey man, it would have been, it would have probably be, how can I say it? If we had a conversation earlier, like that's the thing, it's weird because yes, there was no real, to me there definitely wasn't no beef to me at all. But there was a war of words. I probably would have, I would have fell back from the war of words, you know what I'm saying? For me, yeah, I'm gonna leave the video up because it is what it is, and I felt exactly how I felt when I dropped the video. So it's not like I'm gonna, but I definitely, as men, as women, we're allowed to change our minds. We're allowed to move on, you know what I'm saying? And even though I did move on from the situation, I feel like it was great to have that conversation and, like I said, get some miscommunication understood. And so um I definitely respect for those who don't ever want to have that type of communication with anybody who fucked them over or said some shit to them. But you know, it is what it is. But I do truly feel like I appreciate how things are. I'm definitely not looking for anything to be like it was at all. You know what I'm saying? It'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. But it's just one of those things where now I see him, it's a nod, like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And let it be. We said I did all the talking. I'm gonna do behind the scenes only for them to talk about it and lie on YouTube about it. Nope, I'll pass. Oh, I respect that, Quee. I respect that tenfold, big sis. Gumbo says, I don't have a problem with anyone. They have a problem with me. That says a lot about them. Fuck them. I respect that, Gumbo. I respect that tenfold. Gumbo says, Cam, what's good, bro? Yeah, but somebody that I really truly fuck with though, like heavy, that I did fuck with heavy was his big brother, E Ortiz. E Ortiz, not that other. There's another lame called E. Dang, there's another Eric, some other lame. But hold on, let me say this though, first and foremost. Um, all the people that switched up, even though they know that it was a lie, like, I mean, there's definitely no coming back. You definitely you definitely asked out. So I appreciate those who really kind of just stood in the gap and didn't choose sides. And that's what I always say. That's why, like, man, I'm not here to choose sides on shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm just not. So of course there's different levels that I'm gonna fuck with people on. There's levels to it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to choose sides on shit. So I respect people that still rock with me regardless. You know what I'm saying? Of the bullshit. And then there's only a few of them that did. Of course, there's only a few of them that did. So let's see. Light skin. This boy said Drew got you shook again, fam. Drew. When has Drew had anybody shook? You talking about Drew, the nigga that be wearing the 2000 G Unit tank tops? That Drew had me shook, nigga. Please, nigga, please. You good. You, you get when it comes to that group, I met everybody who mattered, and I never met Drew. He didn't matter, in all honesty. So he didn't matter. But I met everybody who mattered. I met the real people who mattered, like Black Fight Fan. You know what I'm saying? I met the pedo. He matters because he's like the Kobe Bryant of lying over there. You know, I can't. Even though he's a pedophile, I can't denounce his importance to the lion community. I can't. You know, brother Gumbo said I went to Duval to chill with two of my so-called brothers. Then I became their enemy behind a group. I didn't have a problem with them straight weirdos. That is the weirdest thing ever. Isn't that super weird? I don't get, man. I'm telling you, it's weird. It'd be super weird. It'd be super weird. It's crazy. That's why I said it's throwing that name, that word brother around is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, Gumbo. I'ma say this. Hey, at least you got to link up with your so-called brothers. At least they linked up with you. I'ma say it that way. At least you linked up with your so-called brothers versus just talking to niggas on the phone and then you never link up. And then you wake up and you see niggas on videos with their ops. You like, God damn, what the fuck is that about? You know what I'm saying? That shit was super weird. Um, she said it's too Big Sis Quee said it's too early for all that. It's never too early for any of that, Big Sis Quee. It's never too early. It's never too early. Hmm. Gumbo says straight He-Man woman haters. But but yeah, just as far as the other members, I'll never patch up anything. Like I said, when you're silent, this is my thing. If you're silent when you see bullshit going on, that's a cosign. That's a cosign to me. So, if I ever see any of the rest of them, I'm just straight walking past. The only person who I'll probably talk to if I ever see is Black Fight Fan because he's just definitely one of the realest motherfuckers. Or and who else? Stay Ready. I think Stay Ready is the first one that I actually met when I went to the meet and greet, and he was, solid dude, man. I fuck with Stay Ready. Stay Ready and Black Fight Fan. Those probably the only ones. CC. You know what I'm saying? Them are probably the only ones that if I see them, I still talk to them. But the rest of these niggas, because at the end of the day, Black Fight Fan and CC, they dipped from the group. They seen the fuckery. This is what I'm saying, man. I swear, I know this assumption has to be fucking correct. Because listen, y'all, do y'all realize how much of the fuckery took off after they left the group? Yes, there was fuckery going on. There was fuckery going on when they were in a group. Yes, don't get me wrong. But the fuckery skyrocketed after they left. It skyrocketed. So um I feel like they had no parts of that. So it's always respect to them. Like I said, when I met Black Fight Fan and CC and Stay Ready, it was all love. Like it just felt super genuine. When I met Nelson, it definitely felt forced. Like he didn't even really want to talk to me. But I talked. Maybe he thought that, and I wasn't supposed to show up. See, that's the thing. I wasn't supposed to show up. I was telling him I wasn't gonna show up, and then I pop up. You know what I'm saying? It was last minute. Um, and then what's funny is that there was cats. This is what's so funny about these niggas, right? It was last minute, so I'm not about to spend $300. I'm not about to spend $300, $400 on a fucking flight from Miami to Dallas. So we caught what is that? What is that fucking airlines that people love hating on? Y'all help me out in the fucking chat. What is that? Spirit. I'm sorry. I took a Spirit flight out there, and then my return flight was United. And so the funny thing is that there was cat. And this is after the meet and greet. There was cats in the chat clowning Spirit when they didn't even show up to the fucking meet and greet. Like, nigga, how are you clowning flying on Spirit, but you didn't even fucking show up to the fucking meet and greet, you clown ass nigga. It's funny as hell, man. It's like, nigga, hey, I got there. You know what I'm saying? And in all honesty, that's like my second time flying with Spirit. And I've had all good experiences on Spirit. I ain't gonna cap. Yes, they make you pay for everything, like your bags, and it's crazy, like how they add that shit up. It's really not as cheap as they claim it is after they add all this shit up. But yes, I'm not a frequent flyer on Spirit, but hey, it was last minute. I'm like, hey, okay. Smart people make smart decisions. Let me catch this flight real quick. It's nothing. But it's just crazy how cats be. Big Sis Quee says, I'm cool with Mac, K-Ho. Who? Oh yeah, I fuck with them. Yeah, I fuck with them. 503, the whole Supreme Beast boxing crew, cool as hell. Yeah, I have no. Like I said, I don't. Just for me and my situation, them niggas stay silent. So I actually don't really fuck with them. I fuck with like I said, I fuck with Stay Ready for sure. I fuck with Stay Ready for sure. But the rest of them, I don't really fuck with them like that because, like I said, they stay silent on the bullshit. They had my number. They could have called me and be like, "Hey, LD," you know. They didn't. And so for me, when you stay silent and a lie, you co-sign that shit. So yeah, I don't really fuck with them. But I respect if you fuck with them. That's cool. I gave a bum money to go to the meet and greet. What? You serious, Gumbo? Oh man, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because these cats, you know what I'm saying? This is why the title of brother is an illusion for a lot of people because they call you brother. You're their brother here, you're their brother here, you're a brother there. You're really only their brother when they want to borrow money. That's what it comes down to. That's all it is. When they want to borrow some money, you're their brother. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100%. I'm just keeping it 100, a bucko. This is trill spill. 100% trill spill. You're their brother when they can borrow money from you. Once they can't borrow money from you, oh, fuck that nigga. Big Sis Quee said, oh, hold on. Gumbo said, oh, okay. I already read that. Big Sis Quee said, I met Stay Ready in 503 initially. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm sure it's all love with 503, but if I see him, I just ain't gonna talk to him. I ain't him, I'm definitely gonna say so. I'm gonna definitely make it my business to say something because when I met him, he was just super genuine. Just like I said, you could feel vibes. The vibe was just like, okay, yeah, he cool ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? And just seeing how he moves on the just seeing how he moves on the app, he's definitely the type of guy that I fuck with, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we hung out and laughed the whole time. Then 503 came back for the fight when everybody was at my house. Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that. I heard you talking about that. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'ma just yeah, as far as my situation with Kano, even though before I talked to him it was no issue, but I just want to send a shout out to him. Um, he say he don't really do boxing no more. He should. He just need to stay away from them lying ass niggas. That's what he need to do. If you gonna do anything, just stand in your own. And at the end, oh, and what I was saying was that the one I really fuck with them like heavy was E Ortiz. That's Kano's big brother. And I really had some real man conversation with him. He's somebody that I just truly respect, and I love how he thinks. He's not he's very he has a broad mind. He has a broad mentality. He's not small minded by any means, and I truly appreciate just the conversations I had with him. He's a cool ass cat, and it's not to say that he ever was like, he always spoke his piece. He always really just how somebody speak their mind, like they're not looking for you to he was just real honest. Let me say he was real honest with how he felt about situations. And I appreciate that. Even if I agreed or disagreed, I respect the person that stand on what they stand on. And shout out to E Ortiz though. Cool ass cat. Cool ass cat. But yeah, man, another Saturday. and I wish I have a blessed Saturday. Um, yeah, the sun is pretty much up now. Hopefully, there's no hawks lurking, but it is shit. It is pretty much the time that they start hunting, which I witnessed last time I was on live. But yeah, quickly said it's just no issues from me. I just have nothing to say to certain first. I respect that. He wasn't somebody waiting for you to justify him. Exactly, Gumbo. And I love dudes like that. So I love people like that. You know, I love people like that. Authentic. That's the best word to say, E. Ortiz. To me, he's very authentic. And he marches to the beat of his own drum. And that's what I love. I love people like that. Gumbo, you one of those who you march to the beat of your own drum and you stand on what you stand on. So that's why I rock with Gumbo. I mean, like I said, man, I seen Gumbo just really hold it down for cats and how he got mistreated. It's crazy. It shows you that these dudes that we used to be around, they love dudes because that's what it shows. It shows that these dudes that we used to hang around love dudes. And I'm not talking about like brotherhood. This is like touching and shit. They want to touch each other. That's the type of love that they have for each other. Because for people to keep it so real and 100 with them, and then they try to treat them a certain way and quote unquote expose, it's crazy. Definitely raining men. But yeah, man. Fucking Gumbo. But nah, man, how long I've been on this bitch? I've been on here already too long. Again, if you're new here, smash the like button, smash the sub button. Or if you ain't fucking with what I said, smash the unlike button. To my family, my real family that shows up, that's in the chat. Like I said, I'm more direct with my blessings. I want to concentrate my blessings. To those on that's in the chat and the replay gang that really fuck with me, I wish y'all the greatest, most magical Saturday. And I'm about it here, man. I appreciate y'all. Till the next one, I'm gone.